My name is George Wasai. I'm the Vice President of Food and Beverage at AT&T Stadium. It's been a long journey to get to where I am today, but it's a journey that is mine. I'm very, very fortunate to be where I am today. I was born in West Africa, Ghana. Growing up as a kid, I had a speech impairment, which I started pretty bad. On occasion, it comes out. I've kind of figured out a way to work around it. I used to not want to speak, in public. I used to kind of shy away from group conversations because kids sometimes can be very rough on situations like that with people that just can't help themselves, So as a young man, I remember my father working for the first black president of Ghana, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah.
To independence. To independence now.
My father was his Secret Service. Basically, everywhere that he went, my father was the one that would go and scout the area.
In 1966, whilst on a trip to China, Nkrumah was overthrown by a military coup.
At some point, there was a coup, and he was overthrown. My father was arrested when we were all young boys, and he was taken to the firing squad, to be killed. I had to be 4 or 5 years old in the house when they took him away. We never thought that we were going to see him again. But fortunately for him, he was able to explain to them what his job is. And he mentioned to them that he was a civil servant, and regardless who was in power, if he was asked to do a job, he's going to follow orders and do his job. So the leadership that took over respected his point, so they released him and hired him to work for them. So we're very fortunate. My father was appointed as the Consul General from Ghana to the U.S. in 1974. It was a culture shock coming from a third world country and then not going to any other city, but going to New York City, which is huge. But I was able to adapt, pretty fast. So, as a diplomat, you move around the world every 4 to 6 years from your appointment. So in 1979, my father was to move to a different country, but before he did that, he has to go back to Ghana, then he'll be transferred to a different country. At that point, he gave us enough options. He wanted everybody to go back home. And myself, I said I wanted to stay in the States, and he basically told me, if you stay in the States, you're gonna be on your own. So I took a chance. I didn't know what life was gonna be like. I bit more than I could chew. And so being alone, being a teenager in New York City with no relatives and no one to go to. So at some point, I was homeless. For a few months, I was fortunate to meet a family that kind of took me in and kind of helped guided me. In the time period that I was homeless, I was trying to find anything to do to generate income and also being able to feed myself. Someone told me that if you work in a restaurant, you get to eat free for free and you get to take food home. I got a job. I was a cook. I always got leftover food, to take home. I was able to eat as much as, I could with the leftover foods. So that's why got me into food service. My brother at that point had already moved to Dallas. And he called me and told me that, I should move to Dallas. There's a great opportunity in Dallas. I didn't have any parents. I had my brother, so, he represented as my guardian. So I was able to go to high school, went to Adamson High School in Oak Cliff. I went to work at the High Regency downtown Dallas, where I started there as a busboy, and then a dishwasher, then kind of worked my way up through all the food service chain. I've done every job you can think about in food service. If it's in food service, I've done that job. In 1990, I had 2 jobs. I was working at the High Regency, and Amy was doing one of her catering events, and she happened to meet Mrs. Jones and Mr. Jones, and they told her that they were looking for someone to take over their catering department. So she asked me if I wanted to come with her to work for the Cowboys. At that point, I was married and I had 2 kids, so I was kind of, not take a risk. She told me, she said, trust me, this will be great for you if you take this opportunity and you come with me to work for the Cowboys. In 2006, the conversation started, about building a new stadium. If we were to build the best stadium in the world, what would it take and what would we want? In order for us to do that, we knew we had to travel around the U.S. and go to the best stadiums that are running the best food service and try and learn from them. And that's what we did. I was awarded Faces of Diversity Award. PepsiCo Food Service nominated me as the best food service operator in the country. These are awards that usually goes to chain restaurants. So we were the first sports venue in the country to receive this award. It was great to be recognized for the work. It's not just my award, it's everyone that touches food service at AT&T Stadium that won it. The Jones family actually wanted us to get the community involved in everything that we are doing at the stadium. As much as we can involve them, one of the programs that we still do is our Blazing Trade program, where we work closely with people with a disability, from autism, Down syndrome, hearing impaired. We work very closely with them. We have approximately about 50 condiment carts around the building, and these individuals are some of the best employees that you can find. If you are at the stadium at any event and you buy a hot dog and you go get your ketchup or mustard on a condiment cart, those that are putting all those together, keeping it clean, keeping it restocked, are all special need individuals, and they do the best job for us at the stadium. I am definitely living the American dream, because, coming from, Africa, not knowing where, my life was going to take me. I know things could have gone so many directions, but I was fortunate enough that it led me where I am today, being a kid from Africa, now Vice President of Food and Beverage for the Cowboys and Legends. I mean, I don't know what other country you'll be able to accomplish that besides America. So that's my American dream that I'm living.